Welcome back to another episode of Culture Unplugged. As you know, my name is Chris, and I'm so excited that you're here with us today because we're going to be talking about Derrick Jaxn, the self-proclaimed love guru, the self-proclaimed, woman advisor, relationship advisor, whatever you want to call him. We're going to be talking about what he did recently. This guy on the internet going crazy, and honestly, how you can avoid making the same mistake that he did. All right. So definitely go ahead right now, without even thinking about it, making sure that you like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. I want to make sure that you stay on top of every episode as I do them, anytime I do them and drop them, that you always know about them first. Okay. Now we got that out of the way. Let's get it unplugged. So Derrick Jaxn, right? If you don't know who he is, I've watched some of his videos. I've seen some of his stuff come up. Usually it's on my news feed. One of my female followers or female friends on Facebook or social media in general might have shared this particular episode that he's done or a particular video he's done. Usually it's something related to him talking about how women should be respected and they should be treated a certain way and they should be loved a certain way and all that stuff, right? He usually panders to women typically because he has this kind of message that says, hey, this is not what men should do. This is what I think you should do so that you will be protected and everything will be good, right? It's just this guy. Yeah. So Derrick Jaxn, right? You might have seen his face. You might have seen him preach, and talk about how, important relationship is and how it's important to be sacred and have relationships that are healthy, right? Well, some very not so flattering news came out about him recently, and I took some time to digest what some of those things that came out about. And frankly enough, he's actually a married guy. So if you don't know who he is, you can check him out. You've probably seen him already, seen some of his videos and content from some of your friends on Facebook as well, and probably have heard a lot about it recently with the news that he has had an affair, right? That's not necessarily so damaging as the fact that, it's this guy who is a relationship guru talking to women from, all over the world. I think he's got like 1.3 million followers on Instagram, 750,000 subscribers, 750,000 subscribers on YouTube, and all that's great, right? But when you put yourself on a platform that is representative of mentorship, for healthy relationships and not to cheat, right? Like to be sacred and look at marriage as the one key piece in holding that marriage, and you cheat on your wife, it comes out that you cheated, you had an affair, it definitely does not make you look great, especially as a black man. It definitely lowers your credibility. I'm sure he's going through some damage control. And as a matter of fact, he is. He actually posted a video of him talking about him, with his wife. And it's kind of a strange looking video. If you haven't seen the video, you should look at it. I don't have necessarily a link for it right now. You can go look it on YouTube or go on Facebook, whatever. It's there, I promise you. Or if you go to his actual Facebook page, you'll see it out there, I'm pretty sure. But he goes in, he kind of like holding his wife's hand, right, like really tight, and kind of just looking really overbearing to kind of control the narrative, because at this point he realizes to some degree that his image, is tarnished. So he's got to protect that. But the thing about it is, I want you to understand, as a young man in your 20s, you're going to make mistakes, and some of those mistakes may lead you to, step out or whatnot. And I don't advise you to do that. Obviously, I don't. I'd rather you just leave the situation completely before you deciding to actually hey, step out, because there's so many crazy things, and it's not healthy. I'm not saying that in the beginning part I was talking about Derrick Jaxn and his wife, how he, that's not the worst part. The worst part could be him stepping out and he giving something, he's getting something, outside of the marriage, and he bringing that back in, and it becomes a whole snowball avalanche effect. What I am trying to also get you to understand is that you should never put yourself in a position where you are boasting about yourself in a certain type of light, but you're doing something very contradicting to that effect, right? Like you're doing something to the effect of being totally opposite to what you're talking about. Like for me, right? For instance, this channel, this episode, everything that I do is for you to understand, hey, I've made certain mistakes and I don't want you to make those same mistakes. If you had to ask me if I had, Chris, have you ever stepped out on a girlfriend? Absolutely, I have. And was that wrong? Absolutely. And so my whole point of it is to not shame the brother, because he's already going through a whole lot right now, okay? And a lot of guys are chewing him up about it because for years, as long as I remember, like maybe the last 10 years, he has specifically pandered to women, pandered to their fantasy of what a black man should be. And there are many, women that have found good men probably off of his message and have had successful relationships, or people who have, challenged themselves to find better relationships because of him. So I'm not negating that part of it, right? But that credibility gets tarnished through the time of, this whole situation, like him actually basically finding out that he's actually stepped out on his wife. You know what I mean? That's the most sacred relationship, is marriage. So when you step out on marriage, obviously, and you're out there trying to still keep that image, it's gonna probably be hard. And we talked about trust in the last video. It's just like a great segue back into that, right? Because trust, and I'm telling you, the way his wife looked in that video, and just being honest with you, she didn't look comfortable. She's looked very miserable, like she's had a rough couple nights. She's still, she's probably going through with this because this man he's got, books out there, best-selling books. He's got, company stuff, acclaim stuff. And it's only but so much a woman can take, okay? And so, and it's coming out to light that he has other women, or another woman that has come forward about his relationship behind closed doors. So that stuff is scary stuff. And this is where I also have to get this into your head too, because a lot of times, like I said, there are a lot of reckless stuff that can happen when we talk about the sin of infidelity and what it is, like as far as live life by flesh. Okay, when I mean live life by flesh, I mean having sex. You're out there messing around with different people. You're bringing it home. There are scenarios where couples who've had a situation where somebody stepped out and messed around with somebody outside their marriage and brought back something back to their husband or wife. That stuff is scary. Okay, that stuff is wild. That's where it becomes a whole nother thing. If you love somebody, you care about somebody enough, you leave that relationship and you go to that situation. Don't make that other person, that marriage, that person that you're married to, you're with, or whatever, don't make them collateral damage, because that's essentially what you're doing. You're giving that person a collateral damage, as in, they became a third person in your sexual conquest. And they began to get something that they never signed up for. And that's a whole other type of hurt. So if you love or care about somebody enough to at least protect them, in that situation that you're currently in, and then go ahead and proceed to do whatever you want to do. But what I'm trying to tell you, and what this channel will always be about, is protecting yourself, okay? And making sure that while you're protecting yourself, you're protecting the people you care most about, okay? So when we talk about trust, like I said the last time, that kind of hurt and pain that Derrick Jaxn's wife, okay, feels is probably immeasurable, and trying to hold herself up in front of the camera while he's giving this apology. And I put quotations up there because it's a business, you know what I mean? Marriage is a business deal. And when you have someone that steps out of that business, regardless of relationship as well, it's frustrating, you can get really pissed off, to be honest with you, and it's something that you just don't do, period. Especially in a marriage, you just don't do it. You don't step out, whatever like that. So when you've come to a place of saying, hey, I want to marry somebody, I've never been married. I'm not married. I'm not married at all, whatever. But I have an understanding of what marriage should be and should be like, contrary to what the media and generation might tell you, or people might tell you, your friends might tell you, people who are not married might tell you. It has to be something so respected that anything the old shit you used to do is done. The old you and what you was entertaining, that life is done. You should be able to put that away and put it in your box of memories. Laugh about it, maybe with your boys, your fellas or your friends, whatever, years later, and be like, you remember what I used to do? That should not be a thought about, hey, this is what I'm still doing. Okay, so I need you to understand that, well, hey, what Derrick Jaxn did, obviously, yes, was wrong. But the other side of it that I need you to understand is when you put yourself in a certain position, and this could be in a job or somewhere, you have to walk that walk for good. This is it. You have to cut ties before you even decide that you're going to challenge yourself to put yourself in a new position in life. You have to make sure that that's the actual walk that you're going to take. If that's the walk you're going to take, commit to it, respect it, because at that point, there should be no turning back. There should be no thoughts of going back. There's been plenty of times where I can tell you right now where I walked that fine line and someone got hurt. And that's where this is the whole reason why I do this channel now, because I want to make sure, hey, you understand that people's lives can be affected. Personal relationships can be affected. People can look at you differently, like your reputation, okay? Number one should be the key here of why you wouldn't want to do what Derrick Jaxn did. So he's did it. He's coming out, his apology, and hey, he's got a book coming up, and hey, how do we, get through this? I guarantee you, this happened. His wife, as I'm talking about, has not gotten through it fully. It hasn't been done or completely washed away. It's still going on. It's still something that's fresh for her. At night, she's pretty much battling in this turmoil, thinking about what this man has done, and all these vows that they have taken and trips and stuff. She's in Denver, Colorado, while he's with another woman. These are things that women are going to think about, that you get close to if you step out and you do something like that. They're always going to be thinking about the what ifs, and then always going to have the insecurity. And that's where I really wanted to get you to making sure that you protect yourself, protect the people you care about, do the right thing, have some common sense, always think before you do. A lot of times, some things may look tempting and may look great, but it is not that great. And it's not great for you. And it's not going to be great for the people that you care and love the most. Listen, I hope that what I share with you tonight, today, wherever you are, whether you're at home or work, school, whatever, you take something with me, take something with you that I've shared that can apply and give you a little bit of clarity, because obviously this is a bombshell in this brother's life. He's got to battle through that. He's got to answer to God and talk to God and work through those things. It's not something where I'm going to demonize him for the rest of his life, but obviously he's got to be able to grow and learn from this. And I hope that you are also learning and growing from what he did as well, and also my mistakes as well, because this is why we're here. This is a growth piece for us. So again, thank you as always. I'm going to get some sleep because I had came from this Vegas trip, but this was important for me to get out because it segues perfectly with the last video. So I hope that you continue. Let me know what you think in the comments. What do you think, Derrick Jaxn could have done better? Obviously not cheat, right? But what do you think about this whole situation in the comments? Let me know below. I'd love to hear and read about them. And then also let me know any other thoughts you have as well. All right. Let's always, like I say, stay unplugged, be blessed, take care of yourself, and protect yourself.